Hey patrons, I updated my WordPress plugin for deliver audio files and payment links and stuff like that for clients. So yeah, I'm just gonna dive right into it, and we're gonna talk about the settings and the new stuff later on. I can just tell you that the major thing with this update is that I'm utilizing the Dropbox API to a much higher extent than I used to do, which means that I added a lot of really cool stuff that makes it even faster to work with. So we start with just after you set everything up, this is what it will look like when you go into the plugin. So I'm in the back end of my Noisebud site, which uses WordPress, and I'm using Dropbox Deliver 5. This plugin is made to be used with Dropbox. I'm still thinking about adding other cloud services, but it's a lot of work. So for now, it's Dropbox, and it works really well. So, all right. The new thing is here. Let's create a client, my first client. And you can see that there's a little tick box here that says create a Dropbox folder for this client. This means when I click this, I will create a folder on my Dropbox for this client. So I have my clients folder up on Dropbox, which is empty right now. So we're going to click create project, and we're going to my clients, and we'll see what happens. Nothing happens. Did I forget to click that thing? Let's add another client. Another client. Create Dropbox. There we go. I forgot to tick the damn thing. All right, let's use this. Another client. Now we have created a folder for that client. That's the only thing that this function does. It won't remove this folder if you remove the client from the WordPress plugin. But it's just another step. You don't have to name a folder on your Dropbox. The plugin does it for you, and it will make sure that the spelling and stuff like that is exactly the same. So you know that you have a Dropbox folder with the exact same name as your client. So that's cool. Let's put some files in here for this client. So we have a streaming master, and let's put a DDP in here as well. And do we have vinyl? No, we don't. Okay, a DDP, and that will be fine. Yeah, let's put a single track as well, so just a audio file. We have a couple of files here that we're going to add to the client's project. So you can create share links from dropbox.com, or as I do it, from my desktop. So I just go here, create a Dropbox link, go to my let's use the another client thing. I'm going into manage my client, another client. So I hit manage, and here it works the same way as it used to. You paste your Dropbox link, but here's a big difference. It used to pick the names from the audio file for single files, and that still works the same way. So we can add this, and we'll see that remix .wave and the link and stuff like that appears here, and we can have a look at the preview. This is what the client will see when they log into the site, and I can hit play. This works the same thing like it used to. This is a huge file, so it will take a while for this to load, but when it has loaded this, the client can preview without any codecs and anything. This is lossless audio, so we can play that file and jump back and forth in it. And you can see this is the new icon that I created. So this is a custom icon. I think it looks better than the emoji icons that I used to use. All right, let's go back here, and let's go to the Dropbox, and here's a big difference. So here we have a file with a whole album. So these are the streaming masters for this album. We copy the Dropbox link for the folder, and we're going back to the client's side, and here's a new thing that shows up: single link for DDP folders, final files, or individual files. If I choose this, it will behave like the last version of the WordPress plugin. So it will put a folder icon and create download links, and the client can preview it on Dropbox by clicking on the Dropbox thing and stuff like that. We're going to look at that looks later on, but this is a new thing. We're using the API to scan the folder to see are there any audio files in there, and if it is, then we're going to put the audio files as single files. So the client, without the need of downloading a zip archive and expand that on the hard drive, they can listen directly from the site. So this is a huge thing. Plus, it takes the names for both the folder and the single files and use that in the interface as well. So you don't have to name anything. As long as you have, name your files in a good way, then it's just, this is it. You just click add entry, and adding. This will take a little while, because what it does, it will go up and ask Dropbox to create share links for all the files in the folders and send them back to the plugin so we can use that. All right, let's go back to the client and update this site. This is what it will look like. So this is the folder that we added. Master 001, album 002. This is the way I used to name things, or the way I'm naming things. So that means that it's the master one, that's the audible part of it, and album is the pauses and the timeline of the whole album. So this means that the client probably accepted the first master, but then it wanted some changes with probably some shorter or longer pauses between tracks or something like that. When you click preview here, you have a kind of expand icon. So I click that, and all the tracks in the folder show up like this. And the client can play these by exactly as if it was a single file. So you can play this and can download the single files if they want to. So we click that, and it will start to download that audio file. Or can download here, download zip, the whole folder as a zip file. Oh no, I found a bug. Okay, that's gonna download a zip later on. Right now you preview it on Dropbox. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, so I need to address that. Okay, good to know. And it will create a little text between the expanded files from the folder until to the next item. Otherwise it was hard to see what's part of this folder. You can put a distance and everything, or a little what's it called, a little break here as well. Let's do that. These are all a separator was called, so you can add a separator and put that in between and update file, and you can see that that's also a way to separate the different files. It's not supposed to have the lines on the side there. Okay, I need to program some more. I thought I was done programming this. You're never done. All right, so automatically all the audio files are here, so you don't have to you just have to post one link, and then the client can actually listen to everything. And then the normal, let's see here, we had the client's Dropbox. Let's copy a DDP as well and put here. So pasting the DDP, this time I'm choosing a single link. add entry, and that will look like a folder like this. DDP, preview, and download. See if this downloads the zip. Yes, it does. Okay, so it's just a preview that I need to have a look at. So if you look at the preview, then you go to Dropbox and can see the different files, but download zip will download the folder as a zip archive. All right, so that are those things. Let's see, what more did I add? Yeah, I did this. I added a couple of languages. These are AI translations, but I made it easier to add languages so that so the language file is a single file that's in a folder in the plugins folder on your server, and it's called languages. So you can put you can create any language. So I created a bunch of them just for fun. So I have a couple of Arabic, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Swedish, Portuguese, and so on. So you have a lot of language options. We're gonna put my email here. These works the same way as it used to. You can send emails to the client about the project tester here. We send this to the client. Go to my email, and we have emails. This is what the client will see. So we have new files for on your account, blah, 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 and the client can log in. This works the same way as it used to. So it kind of automates the emailings things that you may need to know if you need to tell the clients that there are new files or send payment links and stuff like that. This is a new thing. So you can, in settings, you can put a link to where you want to create your payments. It could be PayPal or Stripe or whatever you use if you're creating payment links. Maybe you're doing old invoices and send those. In that case, you just skip these functions. I use payment links. I think they work better and you get paid faster, so I think they're great. But when I click here, I have put a link to where I create my payments, so I can choose what kind of project it is, and then I can create a payment for that. This is not a part of the plugin. This is something that you do. Let's see. Here we go, album of 16 tracks, put it in the basket. So I showed you this last time. This is what I do. Here's my payment link, and the internet got sluggish for some reason. Come on, come on. There we go. So here we go. We can send this to the client with a payment link, and they have new files, and they have, this is the admin copy, but so here's the payment link. They have new files, so you can log into their account and download things. I'm not going to go through that again. Hopefully you've seen that before. All right, let's remove that. Go back here. And we put a reminder here as well. So if, oh sorry, my big head is in the way. We have a remind button. So if a client haven't paid, so you haven't got any notification that it's paid, and you can set it's behind my head, but it's a tick box. If it's paid, then you tick that, and then it's all good. You can see that the client have paid. All the client's invoices will end up here. If it's not paid, it will be red. If it's paid, it will be green. So you can see, okay, here's a client that haven't paid. You can click that. You go directly to the client, and you can send out a reminder. Remind the client that it should pay, and see what happens. Reminder, payment for your project test that it's noise bed mastering. So a nice reminder for the client. There it is. All right, those I think are the major updates actually. Let's go and talk a little bit about the settings. These have changed. So, first we have company name, reply to email address, review link, payment link creation. All those that we have been using in other places of the plugin, you set those here. So you can name your company to anything, and you can put your reply to review link if you want reviews on Google or stuff like that. Then you can use that. Payment link creation, that is to just make it easier, quicker to go to the right place for you to create payment links. So if you do that on PayPal, then you put a link to your site where you create those here, and that link will show up right before the button send payment link to the client. So it's easy peasy. Admin email notification, this is also all. You can get a copy of all the emails that you send so you can see what the client sees. These are all the new stuff. Dropbox API integration. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's disconnect Dropbox. So we're not connected, and let's create a new Dropbox app. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, oh, that link is gone. Why is it gone? No, there it is. We're going to go to this link up here to connect. First, create an app at Dropbox developers. So we're going to do that. We end up here. Hopefully you're logged into your account, your Google or Dropbox account, and we're going to create an app. Let's click create app. Scooped, access, yup. Full Dropbox, we need access to your whole Dropbox. Name your app, then we're gonna name it, in this case, for noise, but demo setup. Create app. In here, we're going to permissions. That's the first thing we're gonna do, and we need files. Let's see, it says what we need here. Account info read. Yes, that's ticked. Files metadata. We don't need that one, okay. Files content write and files content read. Yep. Sharing write and sharing read. That's it. Those are the ones that we need. We're gonna click submit. And it's done. Permissions changed successfully. We're going back up, scrolling back and going into settings. And we scroll down a little bit, and we're going to copy our app key that's been created here. Copy. We're going back to our WordPress plugin, and we're going to paste that. And this, we're going to change that. We need the Dropbox app secret as well. Okay, so we're going back to our Dropbox settings, and we view that, copy that. This is our secret. You don't see this. All right. When you got to this point, then you will have to scroll down and click Save Settings, because this link that we see here, we're going to need this, but that's not there if you haven't filled this in and saved once. I have already done that, so we can see the link, but I'm gonna hit save and scroll down again. Now we copy this. You redirect, copy, going back to Dropbox, paste that, click add. There we go. Going back and click connect Dropbox. And yeah, you get some warnings. We're all fine with this. And it says status connected to Dropbox. Woo! And we click save down here. There we go. That's all you have to do with the Dropbox API to make that work. So it's pretty straightforward. And what's new here? Yeah, I changed the table header background. That didn't work in the last version, but that's been fixed. And I changed the folders. Let's close that. So I have made some custom icons here that will be used for automatically, but you can change those by uploading your own icons. So if you click here, upload image, then you upload the image to your media library, and then you can select that and save the settings so you use your own icons if you want to. And this is pretty much it, actually. So yeah, you can see what the client does. Another client have downloaded folder, downloaded, secure, preview, play. And the old functions that I'm not using that often, but if I want to do that, let's see, which one was it? I don't remember which is which here. Let's see. Okay, let's use the down below, or let's set it on both of these. So you can restrict things by changing this, and let's do that with this as well. This works the same way as it used to. Let's go back to the client. We update the client, and a text that informs the client that this is not paid for will appear. This is a bit aggressive, but sometimes you don't trust the client, so you need to do that. And if you play a project like this, it will pause 2 times a minute for 2 seconds, and the client won't be able to play the full file. Since this is lossless, they can pretty much record the stream and use it if they want to. But they can't do that because there will be parts missing when they do that, and it's always the same part, so they can never get hold of that part of the song. So that's that function. I don't use it that often. I trust my clients. So that's there it is. Let's move that back. I think that's it for the new version. That doesn't look like much, but when you start to using it, and you don't have to fill in the names, if you just name your folders like DDP and the album name, for example, then those names will follow here, so you don't have to write them again. The links will be created automatically, and yeah, it's way better with Dropbox API. So that's the latest update, and I have some small bug fixes to do, so I'm not gonna make a new video for those. Just trust me, if you see a new version at some point, then I probably fixed those little bugs. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to create a phase rotation things for the next version of Leaky. So have a nice evening. See you soon. Bye bye.